Cool. I got a receipt for you, brother. Just know that. Just know that. I got a receipt for you long as the CVS receipt. You feel me?
If James Franklin was making $30 an hour, all right. We can keep knocking on the door.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another episode of the Fitz Take Podcast. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, but you know you can always call me Fitz. That man in boxes with me is my co-host, Mr. Elijah Nixon. Guys, thank you so much for being a subscriber to the channel if you are. If not, hit the bell down below and subscribe to the channel so you know when we're dropping episodes. If you're listening, driving in your car, whatever, and you're listening on any podcast feed, go ahead and subscribe to that podcast feed wherever you get your favorite podcast from so you also can know when we are dropping episodes. Week 7 of college football had some exciting moments in it last week. Here in Lafayette, not so much. The Raging Cajuns now dropped to 2-4. There in Knoxville, things are still going well. In Rocky Top, a close win over Arkansas. Y'all almost didn't get it, but they were able to pull it off to improve to 5-1 on the season. Even before we get started on the episode, because we got some stuff to talk about with coaches getting fired, dudes fighting after football games, and all that stuff, man. Before we get into that, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. It's getting a little cold out here. It's getting a little chilly out here on Rocky Top. I'm not used to it getting so cold so fast after doing 4 years out there in Louisiana. It's getting a little chilly, man. I'm just going to say that. I'm getting ashy quicker. Hey, you know, black people can't stand the cold after a while. You get a little ashy, extra Vaseline at this time of the year, man. But I'm enjoying it, though. Seeing the season change a little bit.
Listen, man, I understand. I get it. Here in Louisiana, man, it is not that. We still in the 80s. We're trying to hold out right now, bro. I'm ready for the cold. Freeze me, please. I'll take that any day. Let's hop into it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, speaking of getting frozen or being ice cold, as we're recording this episode here on a Monday, the night before Sunday night, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions battled in Sunday Night Football, in which the Chiefs were victorious. But it wasn't the fight on the field that made the most headlines. It was the fight afterward that really brought the attention to the world as safety Brian Branch pulls up on JuJu Smith-Schuster and smacks him. And then after that, JuJu runs over to then get his lick back and proceeds to get his helmet snatched off, and then it's this big scuffle afterwards. Dan Campbell with the Lions gets to the mic and says, I love Brian, but he can't do that. Brian Branch coming out in an article with the New York Post today, mentioning how, it was childish and he regrets doing it, but that it was coming from a place where he felt like he was right to do it in the moment because plays before or somewhere early in the fourth quarter, mid fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, something like that, JuJu Smith-Schuster is running a crack block on a run play, and he cracks Brian Branch on the safety. So trying to show this is the safety here, and JuJu's over here. As he's coming downhill, he cracks him, smacks him. And in football, like the illegal blindside block has been, thrown out. It's illegal. There should be a penalty, all this stuff like that. But afterwards, I think what got him is that JuJu stepped over him. I think that's what broke his pride. And he said, I'm finna show him. we finna show something. So the scuffle happens afterwards. But Elijah, what were your thoughts about how it, all came to fruition, and should he have even pulled up on him like that? How do you feel about it?
I think he should have pulled up on him. I don't know if he should have just walked up to him and slapped him. I'm gonna keep it PG. He slapped the dookie out of him. You know what I really want to say? He slapped him. And the crazy thing is, you watch in slow motion, JuJu put his hand out there for a handshake, and he slapped the mess out of him. But at the end of the day, I think he should have said something. I think the game was, at that point, was kind of, I don't know if it was out of reach yet, but I know that it was.
Crack block.
Yeah.
It was a 10-point game at that point. It was before they kicked the field goal to go up 3 possessions at that point. So it was 27-17. Twitter they be on it. So they had to cut up. They had them circled out. But that was easy. Just type in block and it came up. Ooh, boy.
I don't think that it was. I don't know if it was out of reach yet, but I just think that I know players. Football's a dangerous game. You're gonna get hit dirty. You're gonna get hit regardless, dirty or clean out there. But I just think that for Juju, sometimes you got to keep the player safe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that it's dangerous, it's violent. You want to go out and knock the person over. The ball wasn't even coming your way, doggy. Like, so you could have like really just let it ride a little bit and just let it go. So I feel what Branch is saying there. The ball wasn't coming this way. You decided to still just run and just go full speed and just knock him over. If you want to call it a blind side, if you want to say hit in the back, whatever you want to say. But like I said, the ball wasn't even coming this way. So I feel what Brian Branch frustration was there, and stepping over somebody is even more disrespectful. I get it, I get it. So. Um, but on the same token, if you're thinking Juju, if you're going across the middle, will he spare you at that moment? So again, I understand on both sides of it, but I just hope that Juju next time be the bigger person, because I just think that that wasn't necessary for him to run up on him and hit him like that. First down play, ball's not your way. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you wanted extra cookies in the film room saying, "Oh, Juju go hard every play." Like maybe you just wanted some extra cookies or something like that in the film room for Tuesday or whenever you decide to watch it. But if that was the case, then that film room also going to show what happened at the end of the game as well because of the decision that you made. But again, I just think that I think Juju should have made a bigger decision, and I think Brian should have made a bigger decision as well. Both of them are wrong in the situation, and that's my biggest thought on it. I don't think that it's something illegal or anything like that. So I just think they're both wrong in the situation.
Brother, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you on this one because I'm looking at this play and it looks like they're running like some kind of variation of a inside zone fake reverse on the play. And so Brian Branch is in the box. They're in a 4-3 type of front, and he is on the back side of the play. So if Juju doesn't crack him, he's free. He gets the tackle, and it's a tackle for loss in the backfield on 1st and 10 on a game that you're trying to ice. So his job on that play was to crack block it. He was doing his job. Now, whether it was in the lines, if it was, blocking the back or how close it was or all that stuff like that, like I get it. The play itself is supposed to be thrown out of the game because you're trying to keep players healthy. But as an offensive-minded player, like Juju is thinking, bro, if I don't make this block, I can lose my job. Because, they're going to look at it on film and say, well, he's not a team player. We're not going to get him more touches in the throw game. You feel me? So at the same time, like I understand the defensive player wanting to be protected, but the offensive player is saying, bro, I got to do my job. I'm trying to ice this game. We running the football. And if the back decides to cut back and you the free hitter in the box, my job is to crack block you. So whether it is maybe he could have, came in differently and blocked him and just threw his hands up like that, but bro, that's what he was supposed to do. Now the stepping over, the Allen Iverson step over, hey, that's when I'm with Brian on the let's have a conversation after the game. Like, hey man, be cool now. Like, let's be respectful. Like, but at the same time, bro, this is football. It's a dangerous sport. And every single down that you're out on the field, you are risking, it is a 100% chance that you will get hurt at some point playing the game. To the severity of it, nobody can really tell. You got ranging from, neck injuries all the way down to just, breaking a pinky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so simple stuff like this. It's going to happen. It's a 100% chance when you're playing the game of football. Do I agree with Brian Branch going up to JuJu Smith-Schuster afterwards and smacking him? No, I do not. Let's have a conversation, bro, after the game. Shake Pat hand, cool. JuJu, come on, man. You better than that. And if he be on some, Fugazi type stuff, or he like, oh, no, man, it's football, cool. I got a receipt for you, brother. Just know that. Just know that. I got a receipt for you long as the CVS receipt. You feel me? I got something for you.
Hold that receipt though, Fitz. Because
till I see you again.
That's like till 4 years.
If they don't play again in 4 years, I got you. I got you. I promise you, I got you. I promise you, I got. That's the thing, bro. Football is literally the opportunity. That's why I've never understood fights when you got a helmet on. Because for one thing, you smacked him, but you really didn't hit him. You hit his face mask. So it's like the disrespect part of it is, yeah, you hit me, but bro, what did you really hit? Because this part, you got the chin strap, you got about this much space in between the chin strap and your face mask. So you hurting your hand. The only way that you can really start scrapping is if the helmet is off. Like when Trent Williams punched Richard Sherman, okay, cool. Your helmet is off. I hit you. I'm trying to make a statement. But when we both got our helmets on and we squared, bro, what are we doing? Come on now.
Ain't
Your
nobody gonna take
adrenaline up,
that
bro.
off.
Like, what are you doing? You're not thinking. You're not thinking. And like, if it was so dirty, I would have went out of my way. Let me tell you something. The Marshawn Lynch and Mike Evans beef when he was in Tampa and New Orleans, when they used to meet up all the time, that beef was on site. It was like that. Now that's a beef that's like the run play is going to the right, we on the backside, and they scuffling. That was real. Because if you wanted it that bad, brother, I'd have said, okay, don't worry about it. The next play, I'd have forgot my assignment. I'm finna come get you. I'm finna come get you. If you wanted it that bad. If you wanted it that bad. Because after the game, it don't make sense. Because now you didn't put yourself in a position, and obviously he said it was childish. I shouldn't have done it. You didn't put yourself in a position. You're finna get fined, right? Depending on, what type of roster spot you're on. And I know obviously he plays for the Lions, so Dan Campbell not gonna cut him. But in the league, bro, it's the initials is NFL, and most of the time it's not for long. Like, you just don't know, bro. That could be the play that could get you cut. I'm not saying that he gonna get cut, but in just the overall conversation of it, you can't do things like that in those type of positions. So, was it a dirty play? I'm not gonna say it was dirty. I think the dirty part of it was the Allen Iverson step over. That's when it's like he felt disrespected, he felt played. So he said, "I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you after the game." Which I can feel that. But you just got to be smarter about it. You got to do it. You got to give him his receipt in between the lines, man. Do it in between the lines. I'm gonna build this coverage. Hey, coach, I forgot my assignment, and knowing good and well that I had in my mind what I was supposed to do, but I was finna just go Pele JuJu Smith-Schuster. So that's how I feel about it, man. I think he should have got him the next play. The next play. That's what I think should have happened. That's what I would have been trying to do. The next play, because I've been in them instances, man. Dude, get you on the backside. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like I want to scuffle with you, bro. But we in the heat of battle. We're playing football right now, so we'll see what comes out of it. I'm sure he'll get fined and all this stuff, but Brian Branch and the JuJu Smith-Schuster fight is going to be talked about all throughout the day, and we just wanted to get our thoughts on it also as well. So, staying in the NFL, man, the Philadelphia Eagles and the soap opera that is their offense just seems to continue every single week. They started off really hot early in the season, and I think they've lost their last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just been a lot of confusion around to throw to AJ or not to throw to AJ. And it's every week, especially in a market like Philadelphia, a top 5 market in the country. They finna be hounding this. The radio, the newspaper, the beat writers, the TV people, they're constantly asking AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. What's going on with y'all? Why y'all boys can't get on the same page about this? It's a constant thing, I'm not really understanding it because it's like, dang, my soup is too hot. My girlfriend is too fine. Like, dog, you won a Super Bowl. I get the competitive spirit behind it. I truly do. But man, you could be back in Tennessee right now. You could be over there where Cam Ward is saying y'all, but you could be over there. You could be. You kind of have to compare the apples to oranges, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at how great things are for you sometimes. I do understand when you're winning, it feels good, but you want to feel like you're a part of the win. I definitely understand that. But not to get too deep into it, give you your time to speak about it. Just what do you think about is AJ Brown kind of in the right about how he's handling the situation? Is it Jalen Hurts? What is it that's causing this rift in this offense right now?
Um, I'm gonna say I'm Team AJ Brown on this one. Even though I don't agree with all his antics of I sometimes I do think he stopped running on the routes, and I do think he's sometimes it don't seem like he's giving his best effort. But I understand where he's coming from. As a competitor, right? You won a Super Bowl. You're happy. You're in a better place. But imagine going to your favorite restaurant, and they keep giving you the wrong order. You're gonna be upset. After a while, you're gonna be like, bro, I don't want to keep coming here, even though I'm forced to come. That's what it is right there. Because, like, don't get me wrong, they won a Super Bowl. Not a lot of players gonna win a Super Bowl. Think about it. Your top caliber guys sometimes don't win a Super Bowl. Don't win a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never won one. No, I'm not. No disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but he won one. If you talked about who was a better quarterback, we all will agree that Dan Marino was better than Trent Dilfer. So there is things where not everybody get the chance to reach that pinnacle. But I was always told that NFL stands for not for long. And if he wants to have his name up there with the TOs and of course the Randy Mosses, the Jay Rices, not saying he's the same caliber of those guys, Antonio Browns, Calvin Johnsons, but he wants to at least have numbers so he can make that debate because he feels like, hey, I'm just as talented. And well, not just he may feel like that. But what I'm saying is also with this, think about the guys in the league right now. That's Jamar Chase don't have a quarterback. Justin Jefferson don't have a quarterback. Puka Nacua has a quarterback and he leads the league in yards, receptions, and stuff like that. In a sense, do you not feel like AJ Brown don't feel like, hey, I'm better than this dude? I should be able to get some targets and put my name cemented up there, especially with those two juggernauts not having a production year that they have. I should have my production year. So I just think that I understand where he's coming from with that in a sense. Like he wants the production, he wants to be looked at as one of the top players in the league, if one of the top receivers in the league, if not one of the top players. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, do I agree with the effort and stuff? I don't agree with that. And I did go in to look into his contract to see incentive base if it comes down to money. Money isn't in this all at all. The Philadelphia Eagles worked out a deal where all he has to do is show up for workouts. That's the extra $250,000 right there. And then all he has to do is make the roster. That's an extra $1 million bonus right there. So it doesn't have anything to do with money. I just think that he just want his name up there as one of the best, and it shows because you worked this hard in the offseason to prove that you are that guy. Now he just want a chance to go out there and prove it. So I understand where AJ Brown is
I feel you, man. Like, and it's also that Jalen Hurts is not always considered the perennial quarterback. Like he for whatever reason, when you start talking about quarterbacks, you go Allen, Lamar, you kind of go 1A, 1B with that one. It's Joe Burrow. And then people start getting kind of like, you could put AJ Brown in, or you could put Jalen Hurts in there, back and forth and stuff like that. The bottom line is Jalen Hurts works for what Philly is trying to do, which is being a gritty football team running the football and then throwing it over the top of your head with the play action pass game. That's who they are, right? They're not a spread team. That's why they have these receivers. You've got a big body receiver that can go in AJ Brown. You've got a speedster on the other side with Devontae Smith. And I get it. I understand it from the competitive nature, man. But sometimes you also have to just look at the big picture of it. If I'm AJ Brown, maybe I'm not being used in the offense and things aren't looking as, great as what I would like on a personal level. But if they trade me, where I'm finna go, I'm not going anywhere in the division because you don't want to trade to a division rival. So you're not going to go to Dallas where they airing it out. You're not going to go to Washington where Jaden Daniels has come into his own, even though his knee is hurt. You're not going to New York where they need a receiver with Malik down, but they're still finding ways for Jackson Dart to be effective in the throw game. So they're going to take you somewhere out of the division. Okay, you're not going to the Green Bay Packers because they sit over there. Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? You could fool around and be back on a bad team, and now you're looking silly because you're getting 12 targets a game, 10 catches for $120, 2 touchdowns, but you lost. So it's hard, man. Having your cake and eating it too, being able to say that we win the games and we win the Super Bowls, but also that I'm getting everything that I want. You're not going to be able to get everything that you want. And this is a case of that. It was talks of whether it was a like team only meeting or if it was a conversation between those guys. Sometimes, bro, you just have to just make it work. In some situations, it ain't gonna be perfect. They was talking about all this stuff last year, and they won the Super Bowl. Like some people just seem to never be satisfied. And in this instant, I don't think he's going to be satisfied until he's traded. And unfortunately, that is going to be something that I don't think will hurt Philadelphia, but I think it's something that's going to hurt him ultimately because he's going to go somewhere and, he may be effective in the throw game on whatever team that he's on, but will it affect the wins and losses? I don't know. I don't know what teams are a receiver away or have assets at their disposal that can give away some assets to be a receiver away from being a championship level team. You know what I mean? So if that's not truly out there and that opportunity for him to make that, I'm saying, man, look, get what you can. Because I think the last game they played against the Giants, he had 5 catches for like 40-something yards. So it's like now you got the offense coordinator. We looking at the play sheet and we going, all right, where the AJ plays at? Okay, we finna force feed him now. And now that they know they force feeding you, the defense finna just roll coverage over there. Oh, they force feeding. Okay, we just gonna buzz this linebacker underneath, safety over the top if we need to, and we dare y'all to throw it over there. Like, come on, man. I don't know. We'll see what comes of this AJ Brown saga. If it will continue through the season, or if Philly is just gonna say, "All right, bro, you want to go? See you later." I believe that that's what will happen, and I think it'll be a huge mistake or a huge hurt on AJ Brown for what he's trying to continue to build on his legacy, man. Like I said, I get it, but I think this will be something that he'll look back on and regret tremendously. So, with that, guys, we're going to round out the show talking about the ever evolving coaching carousel in college football. Just over this weekend alone, 3 head coaches were let go. Oregon State lets go of their head coach. Trent Dilford is let go at UAB. And the biggest one is James Franklin being fired at Penn State. Right. To some, this is a shocker. To some, it's like it was more than warranted. To some people, it was the perfect time. This is very interesting because the conversation is now, 2 weeks ago, this was a top 5 team. College Game Day pulled up looking like the new edition in all white. Had him all set. It was all a dream. Right? 15, 16 days ago, he was on top of the world. And now he's unemployed. He's very rich and unemployed. He's straight. Don't get rid of it because what his buyout like $50 million. I saw that. I was like, $50 million? Who do they think they fired? Chelsea Clinton? Like, boy, my God.
Yo. Can you imagine being fired for $50 million? Just to chill?
What Coach O said when he got let go, he said, what door you want me to go out and what time you want me to leave? Boy, but we paid in mind, Elijah, like, when is the time to fire a coach now? Because in college football, really, really in all levels of football, as we look at it, bro, you really don't have that big of a window to start turning something around. They want you to be Kirk Cignetti. Come in here, flip it around, get us in the college football playoff, make this a whole new program in 1 year. Like, how do you feel? When is the time to fire a head coach? And then kind of piggybacking off of that, do you believe that it was the right time for James Franklin to go?
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When we text on Saturday, I'm gonna show y'all the text between me and Fitz. I said, James Franklin will be selling Black and Miles at the Blue Store next week. I said that because you gave UCLA their first win. I mean, the loss to Oregon, that's a wash and wash. But that's what that was saying that you can't win the big games, and that's what the narrative was the whole time. But then you go lose to UCLA, and then last week you lose like Northwestern. Dog. Like, I don't care if Drew Allen was back there or not. You don't lose to Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? That's something you just skate through. And I felt like they was ready to turn the page because James Franklin is a really good coach. But at a certain time, you're going to be tired of just knocking on the door, knocking on the door. You want to go in one day. Somebody want to go in. You're not going to, I don't want to keep knocking on the door. And I'm paying you all this money. We're getting all these recruits that we are thinking that they're great. And of course, you got guys listed in that's coming in next year that's 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, however. And we keep knocking at the door. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. And as a fan base and as an organization, as a school program, whatever you want to be labeled as, it's frustrating because you're paying all this money. Now, if James Franklin was making $30 an hour, all right, we could keep knocking on the door. I don't mind it because we're not paying him nothing. But we fired you for $50 million and telling you dog, we paying you a lot of money and we paying you to win a national championship. Now, first of all, you didn't win the Big Ten. You got me close last year. You got me to the semifinal round. Appreciate you. Love you. But you don't get me to the point where our fans are going to be appreciative of winning a national championship. That is always the goal. Now, I'm not saying it's hard. That is hard to do. It is very hard to do. Win a national championship, Super Bowl, NBA Finals, the World Series, whatever. That is hard to do is win anything like that. But at the same time, you can't just keep giving me my favorite snack and taking it away. Like, what's that commercial where they had $1? Like, you thought you had it? No, you don't. No, you don't. That's what it felt like for Penn State fans. So that's where it's at with that. And I just think that I seen the writing on the wall for James Franklin. It's embarrassing because you lost to those two schools. But I just think that there's not a right time to fire a coach ever, in my mind, unless, maybe in the off season because he's already off. But other than that, I just feel like, James Franklin Wright was on the wall after that Northwestern State game, and I wasn't surprised at all. I just think that Penn State's kind of probably going to a direction of trying to find like a legendary coach. Who knows? They'll probably throw a bag in Nick Saban. I'm not saying Nick Saban will come back, but they'll try to find somebody that's already established and that they think could take them to the next level because knocking on the door is not good enough for the Nittany Lions.
Coaching candidates right now, the highest odds is Nebraska head coach Matt Rule, which sure, but I mean, what has he won a championship? Like, this goes into the conversation, man. Like, people sometimes don't understand how difficult it is to win something. To put together, bro, like sometimes it's almost lightning in a bottle. You have to have a good defense, a competent offense. Special teams has to be clicking. Everything has to go well. And then you still have to have other factors outside of things. Like sometimes somebody's starting quarterback has to be hurt. Like there have to be so many factors that go into winning a championship. I get it. James Franklin has not won the big games, but he has won. I think he had 104-45 record in his time at Penn State in the 12 seasons that he was 11 and a quarter seasons, 11 and a half seasons that he was the head coach. Out of those 11 and a half seasons, 6 of them were winning seasons. I get it. He didn't won the Big 12, but I think, or Big 10, just one time. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It just goes to show you that the time clock on college football is way, way faster than ever before. But I think sometimes, and we've had conversations with assistant coaches offline about how people are looking at it, boosters and people that are investing in the program are saying, do you want to, and as we're saying this, a Penn State 4-star commit reopens his recruitment. So, in real time, you lose your coach and people are decommitting. So now it's like, who are you going to bring in right now that can get back on the trail and start recruiting and saying, hey, if you stay and come here, we're going to flip this thing around next season. It's hard to do that, bro, because in a time where you had a transfer portal, you have NIL, it's hard to do. It's hard to maintain a roster where you can go and recruit a kid out of high school and keep him 3 to 4 years. Because if you bring a kid in now and you redshirt him, he finna hit the portal. I ain't come here to redshirt. I came here to make money and play football. Put me on the field. And most of the time, these kids are 16, 17, 18 years old making these decisions. They don't know that instead of going to Penn State out of high school sometime, you might need to go to a G5. So you could go ahead and play if you weren't trying to play right away. they're not always making the best decision because their mind ain't even fully developed. You feel me? But this goes to show that if you are not doing your job, they will find the money to make you leave. So Billy Napier and Kelly, the ones that your seat warming up, let this be a full-blown wake-up call that they don't care. They're gonna find the money. They're gonna find the money. But like I was, mentioning, a lot of schools are in a situation now where they're looking at, do we take this $50 million and put it towards rev sharing and paying these players and all this stuff like that, or do we want to get this dude up out of here? So for them to take that money and get rid of James Franklin to get him to leave $50 million, there had to be some form of a disconnect within the locker room, within the organization itself, within the athletic department, for them to say, we don't want this dude around here no more. We don't care how much he wins. That means they just don't like you no more. They getting you up out of here because they don't like you no more. And winning championships shuts a lot of people up. I think shout out to my guy Thomas Perpetu. He got the job over in Tulsa, and we were having a conversation about coaches and whether they will keep you around, how long they'll keep you around. He was like, as a coach, you can either be good and unliked, or you can be liked and not good, but you can't be both. You can't be not good and not liked. They're gonna get you up out of there. Like you gotta win. You either gotta be really, really loved for them to keep you around, or you gotta be really, really good and winning. And obviously, they didn't like it. Because if you winning and they don't like you, and they go in they pot and say, let me get $50 million to send you home, that says a lot, man. It says a lot. So the clock is ticking on all these coaches that are on the hot seat. The clock is ticking. If you ain't doing your job, if you ain't winning no championships, if you ain't winning the big games, hey, brother, start looking, because you're going to get that pink slip. But that's just our take, ladies and gentlemen. Put yours down in the comments. What do you think? Was it right for Penn State to get rid of James Franklin? How do you feel about the coaching carousel moving as fastly as it is? And who are some people that you think could potentially be the replacement for James Franklin there at Penn State? We'll see. We'll see.
Give me the job for $25 million. I'll go take half of it.
$25 million. Hey, I'll start drawing plays in the sand. All right, we're gonna run this post. You gonna run this post, boy. We gonna find a way. We're gonna win something. We're gonna beat Oregon. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way for that 25, 50. Boy, man, the amount of money they paying these coaches now, you gotta find a way to win. You have to. You have to. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude another episode of the Fitz Take Podcast. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you've made it this far in the video, please hit the bell down below and subscribe so you know when we will drop our next episode. If you're listening, subscribe to the podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from so you know when we drop our next episode. And we will continue to put out the great content that we are talking about, all things in the sports world, as baseball and all that stuff is continuing to rave on. NBA season is about to start. We're going to be closer to the World Series. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces for sweeping and winning the WNBA championship, their third in the last 4 years, and A'ja Wilson cementing herself as the greatest women's basketball player of all time, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode. So for now, guys, signing out for Elijah Nixon, I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see you guys next time.